Hi, Christina here, and as usual I'm with my dad Bob.
Hi.
And it's the Weight Loss Soundbites of the week. Our question for this week is, how important are vitamin supplements after surgery?
Vitamins and supplements and minerals and those kinds of things are important before, during, and after surgery. More important after surgery, depending on your surgery especially. With gastric bypass, very important. With the sleeve, pretty important. And with lat band, not as important, but still, even for a person without surgery, minerals and vitamins and nutrients and those kinds of things are all important. But after surgery, particularly with the Roux-en-Y or the gastric bypass surgery, there's the malabsorption and the restriction that comes into play. And you can't get the foods you normally got. You're eating so little, you have to take the supplements, particularly for the first 9 months to a year, some of them lifelong, just so you get the things that you need, because you're so focused after surgery on protein, which are
The building blocks of life.
Amino acids are in protein, and that's the building blocks of life. Everything in your body depends on these things. So you have to have the protein, but you can't eat the vegetables like you used to, because you're eating so it's a small portion. You have to get the protein. So you take supplements, chewable one-a-days, iron, calcium, those kinds of things you have to have so your body can continue to be healthy. So depending on your surgery, it's important for everybody, but as the surgery goes up towards gastric bypass, the Roux-en-Y, the more and more important it becomes for your health.
It's a good thing I take lots of vitamins.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And that was a good answer.
Thank you.
And on the vitamins, there was something else that I learned very early on.
Yeah, and it's something you'll learn at a support group meeting. You'll always hear me supporting support groups, because they teach you so much, and you go and you go and you go and you go, and you will realize that you learn something new every session, and you get something you knew before reinforced every session. Cannot understate the importance of a support group. But whenever you're taking vitamins and iron and calcium, make sure if you're taking vitamins with iron, you don't take your calcium at the same time. Or if you take vitamins with calcium, don't take your iron at the same time. Or if you have three, make sure you don't take the calcium and the iron at the same time. They kind of bind together after you take them, and they pass through the body without being absorbed because they're attached to each other, and you get the benefits of neither. So try to go an hour and a half to 2 hours between the time you take whatever you have with calcium and the time you take your iron. That way you'll absorb both and get the benefits of both.
Yeah, that works out well, because usually in the morning I'll have one of my vitamins because they have calcium, or my calcium tablet things in there with my shake, my protein shake. And then around lunchtime, about midday, I'll take my iron, and then right before bed I'll take my other vitamin, which has calcium in it. That way it's all spread out, and it's easier for because with bypass you have the malabsorption, and it's easier if you spread them out. That way you have more of a chance to absorb more of the vitamins than if you just take everything all at once.
Talk with your doctor, talk with people in the support group, talk with a nutritionist or a dietitian. They'll all tell you that you can only absorb so much calcium at a time. So if you have 2 40-milligram tablets you take and you say, oh, that's all the calcium I need, you take them at the same time, you're not going to absorb it all. So you need to kind of spread it out. And that comes into paying a lot of attention, because when you do that and you're on medication, like I take Synthroid, you have to take it without food and not eat anything for an hour and a half to 2 hours. So if you get up and you have your protein shake, which has calcium in it from the milk, that's a good time to take your calcium, and wait until you're not having milk or calcium products with your iron. And I have to make sure that I take my Synthroid, and I wait an hour and a half, and then I have breakfast with calcium, and then I wait a while, then I have the iron, then I wait a while, then I have lunch or whatever, so you have to be very aware of when you're taking it.
Yeah.
And it can be a pain. It goes back to that, it's a commitment you have to make. And after you get in the routine and get it all scheduled out, it becomes much easier. But in the beginning, it's a chore to get it all in, and to get all the water in, and to get all the protein in, and you learned. And you didn't understand. I think we've talked to you about it, but you didn't really comprehend it until you actually go through it, that you're not supposed to drink before or after you eat, so your body has a chance to absorb what you're eating and not expand the pouch too much, and a lot of reasons. So you have to drink and drink and drink and drink very, very shortly after surgery, then you have to stop.
And wait.
And wait. Then you eat, and you have to stop and wait. Then you start drinking again. And it becomes where it's almost not enough time in the day to get all the water in between eating and vitamins and minerals and drinking. And so it becomes a chore. And it's hard to understand until you go through it, how much thinking it takes to change your lifestyle and to get through that post-surgery period. Be ready. Study, research, support group, support group, support group.
Yeah. Because still, even with all the support I have, 5 months out, I still have a hard time making sure I get all the water in, plus the protein, because the doctor having up to my protein requirement, that makes it all the more, it's juggled. You have to, it's almost like you have to take a calendar every day and plot out, okay, this time I'm going to do this, but it was hard at first because I take the Synthroid as well. But now it's where I set my alarm 5:30 every morning. I get up, I take my pill, I go back to bed. But then by the time I wake up, I don't have to think about, oh, I've got to wait another couple hours before I can eat so I can take my pill.
That's exactly what I do.
So I get up, take that, go back to bed, and then when I get up, I'm free to go have my protein shake, have my calcium, whatever.
Yep. And that's also one of the reasons, if you're thinking about pregnancy shortly after surgery, the doctors will tell you they want you to wait 12 to 18 months. That's because of some of this. The baby is going to get the nutrients before the mother does.
Right.
The body,
That's just,
thank God for his plan, the baby's going to get what it needs first and foremost. And the mother's health could suffer for it because she doesn't have the time. If it's shortly after surgery and you get pregnant, you can't get all the water, you can't get all the minerals, can't get all the vitamins, can't get all the proteins, So be careful. That first 12 to 18 months after surgery, pregnancy is probably not a good idea.
yeah, it's not a good idea.
Yep.
But eventually.
Yep.
Good answers.
Thank you, ma'am. And if you've got any questions, you can send them in to Tina. We'll answer them for you. We'll make sure they're the right answers. You know, we'll coordinate with our support group and our doctor and that kind of stuff to make sure that you get quality answers. If you don't have a support group available, try your best to find one. If you can't, say you're way out in rural America somewhere, maybe we can be your support group. Maybe we can provide you answers and that kind of stuff. No question is too small. If it's something you don't know, it's a valuable question to ask and get the answer to.
Yep.
Okay.
And if it's an important question, well, like if it's not like a dire need, but if it's an important question, I can email them the answer and then do the video later if it's something that, like they're going to have a surgery in a week and they want to know something.
Oh, yeah.
So then we can make sure that.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.